And good morning. Welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. We're in our little itty bitty house that's as energy efficient as a tin shed in Minnesota winter. We are in day 2, I think. We have our little house. There is a rather large rabbit. We have a well. And we're going to do some additional planning on building today. So let's take a look at what options we have. So there's not a lot. We're pretty early on in this. So there's not a lot we can build yet. We need to gain some experience. But we're going to do some exploring. We need to advance the storyline as well to properly make sure that everything is moving and we have as many buildings as we can possibly have. So, we're going to take a drink here. We're going to take a quick dip in the river to get ourselves clean. And it's raining. It's not the most pleasant thing in the world. So we have our knife, we have our axe, and we have a hammer. We need a better tool, better weapon. What would be great is a bow, but we don't have that. So what we're probably going to do is make some spears, which means we need some wood. We need logs. So we're going to be working our way to visit with Unigast to get some more information about what's going on with regards to our uncle. Oh, and we broke our axe. Let's see. Tool. Let's make a new axe. And let's finish chopping this down. Oh, we need a shovel for that. Never mind. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up that, and then let's jump in here and we'll make all of the spears. Because we're going to definitely need food before too long. So... and we gotta wait till this is finished, and we'll switch into our inventory. We will find those wood spears, and we will put them in number 1, so we can do some hunting if appropriate on the way to visit town. And I will catch you there unless something interesting pops up before then. Alrighty, we have just reached the point where we can see the walls of town. So I thought I'd bring you back. We're going to go take a look. Sometimes there's wagons and stuff along the road that are broken down, and we can get some supplies and resources from that, which would not be the end of the world. So we have a couple of missions, or a couple of waypoint indicators. So let's see what we can do. We've got one pointing up here. Alright, that's the Alwyn. We're not gonna worry about too much beyond just the basics, so we're gonna go find Unigast. There he is, right there. Alright. Hey, Unigast. Are you getting settled? The valley is treating me nicely so far. That's wonderful, Rasimir. But you came at a poor time. My duties as Castilian await me. Of course, I understand. Is everything all right? Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. There's been a murder. Oh my, things like that don't happen here too often. I thought things like that don't happen here too often. Because they don't. I'm just about to go to the crime scene and question the witness, and I honestly don't know what to do. I'm sure you'll take good care of the matter. Time will tell. Yes, even if it breaks. Jokes aside, Rasimir, it's really a serious matter. I won't be able to share more stories with you at the moment. but I believe there is someone you should meet. His name is Sambor. He is one of us, the pack, I mean. Are you serious? And he lives here, in the valley? That's right. All of them do, actually. Here, I've marked Sambor's house on your map. You should pay him a visit. Great, I'll go there right away. Beware. Calling Sambor friendly is like being stung by a bee right on the tip of your manhood. Pleasant. Ooh. Oh, I'm sure you're exaggerating. He was part of the reminders, after all. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'll be on my way then. All right. Awesome. So, we've got that done. That is a bit of a trek that way. But there's sometimes a camp over this way that I thought we'd go see if we could find. There's sometimes a wagon up there. If we can find the wagon or the camp, there's a good chance we can get a decent weapon. And there's an eagle. Alright. So one thing I do want to do is skills. We're going to need to unlock mule, I think, would be the best one to try to get right away. But we shall see. Alright. So there's a river over here. Ooh, I'm getting tired. That's not good. Let's have a drink. That usually seems to help a little. Let's go up this way. Yeah, there's a waterfall. It does not look like the camp is here to this instance. That's unfortunate. It's not an every game issue or item, so oh well. There's sometimes a wagon here too. That's fine. Let's head back. Actually, we should probably try heading over to see Sambor. That could be a good thing to do to move the storyline along. It's nice to get that going because that gives us access to more builds as we unlock our Dynasty points. I could walk to the bridge, but why would I want to do that? Alright. So let's go see if we can find Sambor. So we could go up that way, but there's also sometimes a camp over this way, so we're gonna just take the river road round. Because why not? Let's explore a little bit while we're doing things. There's a wagon here. Let's go see what supplies may or may not be here. Ooh, that's a copper spear, but it's very damaged. And this is a water skin. Nice. And that is a rock. Alright. I'm not seeing the usual camp, but I might not be far enough down yet. They're pretty obvious. They're white tents. So we'll be doing some exploring today, so I'll probably have you wander with me for the most part. But I think we can do some of the longer runs that I have to do as fades so that you don't have to watch all of the walking and running and fun stuff. We are low on meat. It's not good. We're going to actually have to find food very soon. Much sooner than I was expecting. So we're going to probably start deer hunting here. Let's go ahead and cut up towards Sambor's place. Now, as I recall, there are wolves in this area and lynx. Lynx don't usually seem to bother me too much, but the wolves tend to try to eat me. Boars are hit or miss. There's actually a lynx right there, and that looks to be a moose. Ooh, there's a camp here. Nice. So let's see if there's anything of interest here. Let's see. There's a straw hat, or a flat straw hat. We can... Let's go ahead and equip that. Nice. Now we have a hat. And there's firewood, which I'm not going to pick up because we don't really need it right now. There's a torch. Let's open the barrel. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Now this is fortuitous. Those are nice. And there's an axe. But how heavy is all of this? Not terrible. Not terrible. I don't know how to create bolts, so we're going to want to use that crossbow rather sparingly. There's that moose. There's a deer. Let's worry about getting food in a bit. Let's find Sambor and start doing that. Well, that isn't going to help much. Dang it. It ran off with my spear. That's okay. The Wizzants are here. They will beat the snot out of me. They're tough, and they actually seem to have what I would call knockback, because they throw you across the map a ways. Alright, we're coming to this from a slightly different angle than I usually do, which isn't the end of the world. So we're going to come around here, and we're going to talk to Sambor. I think you're lost, boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to Wait a second. Look me in the eye. Stop shivering, for crying out loud. Huh. Black and blue. You're Iredon's family, aren't you? Yes, my name's Rasimir. You must be Sambor, then. And how do you know that? I was talking with Unigast. He told me that you were part of the Reminders as well. Part of what now? The pack? The one with Unigast and Iredon? I never heard this idiotic name in my life. Oh, sorry. Maybe I've made a mistake. We were called the Undying Fist. Now that's a whole lot better name. You're damn right it is. That's because I came up with it. Everyone loved it. No idea why Unigast lied to you like that. I'm sure he was just jealous about your creativity. Ah, of course he was. And not only about that. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the pack's adventures together. That's an amazing coincidence, because I would love to spend my time telling the old tales by the crackling fire. Oh my, really? No, leave my property and forget where it is. Oh, come on, we'll only take a moment. A moment, really. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? What did you become part of the Undying Fist, and, what did you do exactly as the pack? You don't know what we did? Unigast didn't get to that part of it yet. Yeah. Alright, but be quiet and try to be less annoying. Where should I begin? Right, it all started when Iredon left his home. He was 18 at the time, if I remember correctly. That clever guy was always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew that. Left as soon as he could. But cleverness at such a young age always means two things: being arrogant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure. That's it. Pretty detailed, huh? Path like that is paved with skeletons of young idiots. But none of them was Iredon. Either way, he was wandering for days. Days soon turned into weeks, and his rations into dust. He was useless as a hunter. Back then, at least, so berries and mushrooms were all he could get. So obviously he needed some coins. He came across a manor with orchards so vast, they seemed like an ocean. Iredon managed to find some work there. A week of back-breaking labor had passed. His hands were covered in blisters, skin red from the scorching sun, knees pulsating from the pain. I must say, you're really an amazing storyteller. I wasn't expecting that. Shut up. You want me to finish? Where was I? Oh, right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he'd done, went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect the payment. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats he was dreaming of buying, and all of that was ruined by the hand of the lord holding a couple lousy coins. Iredon was furious. That was merely a fraction of the pay he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the lord. Disgusting, replaceable insects. And what do you do with a fly which buzzes too loudly? Both of the lord's palms struck Iredon's ears with the strength of an ox. Iredon fell to the ground stunned, and the lord's guards threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing that few pathetic coins that while doing so, if I may add. It wasn't until evening when Iredon regained his hearing, and with it a fervent thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years ago, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he only came close, so he needed to find another way to fulfill his vengeance. Iredon was always ambitious, but that hatred fueled him like nothing before. And what happened then? What came later was me being bored of this conversation. Go away. No way, you can't leave me like this. I can do whatever I want. Scram, I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything you want. Just please, tell me the whole story. Damn, you're annoying. Please, 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 please. Fine. Just shut up already. Just say what needs to be done and you won't regret it. Here, grab this shovel. It's a piece of crap, but it will do. There are clay deposits behind my house. Go there and dig up some clay for me. On it, boss. Awesome. Alright. Let's go see. Okay, so this is clay. We need to put that shovel that he just gave us. I'm guessing it's a wooden shovel. Yep. In our hotbar and start digging. We need 5. We need to dig up 2 deposits and get a total of 5 clay. Alright, we've got the 5 clay, but we need to do 2 deposits. That's interesting. There are chances to find things as you're digging these up, artifacts and stuff we can sell for a lot of money. But I don't think our level is high enough for that. Alright. There's a lot of these here. I have to remember that. We'll grab a couple of them. If they work out, if we find a way to sell them for money, that'd be great, but can't get in that way. Let's go around here. Here's all the clay you wanted. Will you finish the story now? You have it? Alright, alright. So, as I've already said, Iredon wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money, nor connections. But he had one thing, an unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Iredon was an exceptionally good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells or really. Calm, steady breaths. Eye contact held all the way. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations. But it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. It was as natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. I'm going to just keep listening. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first, he convinced the nearby town's tailor to sew him a whole set of clothes worthy of the most wealthy nobleman. The finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it. Horrendously expensive. So how did he manage to afford it? You may ask. It's simple. He didn't pay for it. So he stole it? I said no such thing. Iredon wasn't a thief. Not in the traditional meaning of the word, at least. Apart from that, did I finish the damn story? Well, while wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king of that realm and entered it. Okay, now I know that you're making this all up. That's simply impossible. You're absolutely right, it is. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off. But Iredon, he just walked straight in. I don't Blame you for doubting me. Damn, I would have been the first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later with my own eyes. Anyway, he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan, which was betting his wife. Whose wife? The king's wife. The king's wife? Mm-hmm. So the queen? Indeed. So let me get this straight. The plan was to get into the castle and lay with the queen. Exactly that. You were right. This is the most absurdly idiotic plan I've ever heard of. I told you, but it worked like a charm. Still don't get it. What worked? What is he accomplished by that? I told you, it worked like a charm. After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bed, and told the queen he'd be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards, and told him that he saw the queen with the company of a strange man sneaking into one of his chambers. The guard rushed in, and witnessed the queen naked in bed with a man's clothing right next to her. As a loyal servant, the guard reported the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife. That would be bad for his reputation, but he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Ireton was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare he borrowed from the stable into the sunset. I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but it didn't mean he couldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one thing that Ireton left behind, except his undergarments and a pleasurable memory for the queen, his name. Not his real name, of course. The name he used when introducing himself to the queen was the Lord of the Orchards. Precisely. Now you get it. Ha! That's incredible. The Lord's head must have left the company of his body pretty promptly. He didn't get killed. That wouldn't be in Ireton's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in the dungeon, where he spent all the days he had left. Ireton was amazing, all that, and with just the power of his wits and speech. He surely showed the Lord that he shouldn't have wronged him. Don't get the wrong idea about his reasons. Ireton didn't get through all of that just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was a cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all of his subjects, killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him Laundryman because one of his habits was drowning his bastards in the lake right after birth, like unwanted kittens. Ireton needed to stop him, and he did. And that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successors, but then, with just an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord's, a charming young man with 2 different eyes. He easily acquired all the possessions of the sentenced relative, but Ireton didn't want any of that, not for himself. So he only took 3 bags of coins from the treasury and left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He is still probably worshipped there, I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? That's easy. One for the tailor, another for the stableman he took the horse from, and the last one for himself, with the exact amount of coins he was rightly supposed to earn for his work in the orchards. I told you, Ireton wasn't a thief, and that was it. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm, continuing his adventures. At least that's the story he used to tell us. So nothing of that may be true at all, but that's just how it was with Ireton. Now I understand what you and Unigast were talking about. He really does seem surreal. I've never met anyone like him, but don't get me wrong, he had his flaws, but the things he could do, his tongue wasn't even silver, it was made of pure gold. But wait, you didn't tell me what was the purpose of the Undying Fist. Oh, I thought it would be obvious now. On that day, Ireton's mission was born. He knew that spoiled, rotten elites like that were scattered all around the world, draining life and dignity from the land, working simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them, to some extent at least. So that's exactly what he started doing, overthrowing corrupt lords and bringing back to the community. He sounds like a hero, a true hero. Well, it wasn't like, yeah, I guess you could say that. So how did you join the pack? Arden was working solo until he met Unigast. That rat's agile fingers could work where Arden's tongue couldn't. And then they needed someone with other talents they were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Right. So they recruited the best there was. I was between jobs at the time, so I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Oh yes, I noticed. Humble to the bone. Thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills. Just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anybody. So it's time for you to go and probably don't come back ever. It's a great pleasure and true hero. Yeah, I don't care. Leave now, and in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Unigast. It's his favorite, a knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. Of course, sir. I'm on my way, sir. Okay, so that was interesting. That's an interesting story. And it is late. It is getting dark, and there was more exploring I wanted to do, but that was an interesting story. It was worth it. Okay. So we kind of got to go through the storyline, do all of the tutorial-ish type things in order to unlock everything that we want to be able to do, and then we can just kind of freeform after that, I believe. So, there's a town this way. There's a couple potential camps, I believe, that we can check out on the way too. But it's dark, and we probably should be heading back to camp pretty darn soon here. Actually, I think we're going to have to, no matter what. It's getting really dark. So, we kind of have to just go straight that way. And we really need food. We really need food. We could. Can we make the rabbit trap yet? We haven't unlocked that. Oh, please don't hurt me, pig. Please don't hurt me, pig. I'm just passing through. You won't see me for 2 seconds. Please no wolf. Are we on day 2 or day 3? I feel like it's day 3. I thought it was day 2. Wasn't... Oh, a camp. I did not know this one was here. Let's pull out our torch so we can actually see. We'll take... Oops. We'll take everything there. There's sacks. Wooden bolt. I don't care about the rest of that. Shoes? Do we have shoes? Oh, we'll take them and we can see. Worst case scenario, we sell them. Beer! Another axe. Looks like more shoes. That actually looks like warm shoes. Fur shoes. Okay, I think that's about it. We need to go that way. Yep. Alright. Let's try and get home. Turn off the torch. Okay, we're to the river. Home should be pretty much that way. It's a little wider here. Let's get a drink since we're here. think we're gonna need to get some food. So we have to use bolts, and actually we have to put the, we have iron bolts, but we also had that one wood bolt. So let's put that into the slot. Oh, we have 3 of them. Awesome. Okay, we need to find a deer or other large animal that will make good and tasty steak. Okay. Yibbity hobbits. Lots of hippity hoppities. If I'm not mistaken, home is that way. Oop, there's a moose on the loose. I was afraid of that. The moose is too big. There we go. We got it. Nice. We can recover that bolt, and we're going to skin the moose, which should give us a little bit of meat, which we can go back to the house and cook, and we can call it a night. Oh, we got 22 meat for that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, but we're down to 1 bolt left. Well, 1 full-powered bolt, anyway. There's a deer. I think 22 meat's going to be enough for us for right now, so we're not going to get too terribly greedy. We are definitely carrying too much. And home is probably at those trees. So, we didn't get much exploring done. We didn't get much building prep done. But we did learn more about our uncle. We did get to meet Sambor. And there's home. Fantastical. So we're making some progress. And we're going to keep making progress. It just takes a little time. Wish I'd made this out of stone. That's okay. Alright, let's go in here. Let's light the fire. And we're going to craft. We're going to craft all the meat. Alright. So, I think, that's an interesting story about our uncle. He sounded very unique. So, I think that's a safe way to put it. But I think at this point, folks, I'm going to finish cooking, get my stomach full, and call it a night in game. And I think at that note, I'm also going to call this an episode. We managed to get through yet another day in Medieval Dynasty. We've advanced the storyline. We've got more information about Rasomir's uncle. And we get to go and punch Unigast. That's a good objective for next time. Although we may stick around the house or our camp area and start expanding or working to expand what we've got in place. We do need to get another house up. I want to get a lumber mill type thing set up so that we can get somebody higher or to join the village and start getting them to produce us stuff, because we've got a lot of work ahead of us. And we've got a lot of cleanup we've got to do. A lot of things to get transferred around here. So, on that note, folks, let me go ahead and grab some food quick since we're still here. We're full up. On that note, folks, I bid you a good evening. Thank you for watching. This is Lord Elric, If I have earned your subscription, please feel free to do so, and I would love any comments you may have. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye.